today's call. We have some interesting stuff happening today. So let's start with our usual question. Some intentions, distractions that you have for the call, and what's been on your playlist this week. I'll start because I've been forgetting about answering at the end lately. So intentions, I want to present like what I think it's a decent draft of the funding proposal. But I want to get a better sense of how the actual comms contributors are going to be getting this. So yeah, I'm excited for this particular intention. I have no distractions today, and what's been on my weekly playlist? I was listening to the second Queen album this morning, and I forgot how good it is. And most of those like first Queen albums pretty much like invented metal. So if you like and enjoy metal, you like those first Queen albums. Let's pass it to Juanca.
Thanks, Chuy. Yeah, my intention for this call is to sync with comms, and I also want to share a card that I made for the Gitcoin grants to have an okay to see if we can save that as a collection and actually share it in Twitter and yeah, to promote a group of grants. I don't have distractions, and my song of the week is called Tierra by Bomba Estéreo. It's a good song, and I will paste the link in Lounge. And I'll pass to Carlos.
Thank you. Well, I'm new, and my intention is like learn a lot. Yeah, I want to learn what is going on here. I want to apport something to the community. So I want to listen. And in my playlist, I would say Never Stop from Tribequa. Yeah, that's it. And I pass to Durgadas.
Hi there. So what are we checking in with?
Intentions, distractions, and what's been in your weekly playlist.
Oh, yeah, intentions just to give my regular unsolicited advice, and distraction is my day job, and and then my daily playlist. I have been watching a bunch of things related to the Get Back thing with the Beatles, although I'm finding it a bit hard to watch just because I didn't realize how controlling Paul McCartney was. So anyway, so I'm having to kind of turn it off periodically because it's a little cringy for me. But yeah, I don't know who to pass it to because I literally just arrived.
Let's pass it to Edgar.
You can hear me? Okay. Well, hello everyone. My intentions today is here the meeting and learn a lot and do my responsibilities in real life. And my distractions today, I'm finishing this period from my school, so I have a lot of projects and exams and that kind of stuff. And my playlist, I've been hearing Aleman. It's a rapper Mexican. Someone the last week recommended the new album, so I've been hearing that. So that's it, and I pass it to Acid Laser.
Thank you, Edgar. So My intentions are I want to see what's going on with the new manifesto and the funding proposal. It looks so interesting. And distractions, I have a lot of work to do. And in my playlist, I have been listening to a band from Spain called Trashy. I'm going to post it on the channel. And I'll pass it to Griff.
Thanks, Acid Laser. My intentions are really just to hang out and see what's going on in the comms scene. And my distraction is, of course, all this other random stuff that I'm looking at and answering DMs and making DMs to people to coordinate some Param parties. And what's on the playlist? I've been listening to a lot of Human Experience lately. It's like kind of a hippie. I don't even know how to describe what they are. Kind of hippie music, hippie electronic music with nice voices. Yeah, and I will pass it to. How about Wonka?
I already went, but I will pass it to Manu.
Gracias, Juanca. Well, for me, I want to intentions is see what how the funding proposal is going, see where I fit in it, talk about HubSpot and next steps, distraction, no distraction, and yeah, I've just been listening to instrumentals and rapping over them, pretty much trying to get some Web3 ideas in there, but it's tough, man. Economics and politics into that, but conscious rap. That's what I'm about. It's pretty much it. I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, Manu. Yeah, so my intentions are to catch up on team development and contribute to the working group funding proposal discussion, and then talk a little bit about HubSpot and what our plans are for that. So distractions, I have a lot of work that I'm doing and currently almost done with getting off this checklist, so it's a good thing. And my playlist, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, so I really like the Economist podcast. If you ever get a chance to listen to them, they put on some good stuff. So yeah, and I will pass it to John Jonas.
Thank you. My intentions. I wanna learn. I wanna learn more and know what we're a little bit more what we're doing, and knowing what else I can help. My distractions. Well, I'm watching the final season of Mr. Robot. That honestly, it got me. And in my playlist, Joaquin Sabina is a famous singer. And I'll pass it to Carlos Rosso.
I already went.
Carlos already went, but let's pass it to I think Septi and Casal are the last ones.
Yeah, I can take it. Yeah, my intention is just to sing out with you guys. Is anything I can support? No distractions. For music, I'm listening Ghostman when I'm working out, and it's working. It's working. It makes me work harder. And yeah, Mr. Robot, good memories. Yeah, very nice show. If you didn't see it, like, it's really recommended. And yeah, back to Casale.
I just arrived. I don't know what's happening. What are the questions?
That's okay. Intentions, distractions for the call, and something that has been in your weekly playlist that you would like to share.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Sure. It's intentions and distractions that you have for this call, and just anything that you've been listening to, music, podcast, or a TV show that you've been watching that you would like to share with the rest of the people in the call.
Okay. So intentions. I guess like planning. I think the word is discussion, like to talk and to like, pass around ideas and stuff. Distractions. I don't know what that will be. um, I don't understand that. Sorry. But yeah, I guess in music, I'll say Daniel Kien, which is a friend of mine, and like my friend Chui knows him. So yeah, I've been listening to him for like the last 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a nice artist.
Great. Thank you for sharing. And let's get this thing started. Okay. First of all, new contributors here. We have Acid Laser, we have Carlos Rosso, we have Casal, Edgar, and John Jonas. Have you attended a Param party before? Let's start with Acid Laser.
Just one, I think.
Okay. Carlos, have you attended a Param party before?
No.
Okay. Casale, have you attended a Param party before?
Yeah, one in the One Hype server.
Perfect. Edgar?
No, Chuy.
Okay. And John Jonas?
No.
Okay. Okay. This is perfect. Let's put together a Params party, but just for team contributors. This way we can all like be familiar, and you won't get nervous in case you have any questions. Especially because these ideas sometimes are a little bit intimidating at first, but don't worry. Like we all have an economist inside of us, and let's start with this. I don't know if everyone has access to the Comms Call agenda. If not, you can go to the communications channel. And there wasn't. I don't think there was a reminder posted this week, but I'll share a link to the document. Okay, there it is. So everyone now has a link to this, and if you click here in Comms Party, hi Angela, nice to see you here. So if you go to the Comms channel and click on the agenda, and then you click here in Comms Party, you're gonna be taken to this very useful tool. We hope to have like a fork of this running in Nick's dashboard pretty soon. But this is lettuce meat, as in the salad ingredient, not the verb. Lettuce meat will allow us to sync to see how many, what times we have available. So now I just made a proposal for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If all of you, Acid Laser, Angela, Carlos Rosso, Casale, Edgar Web3, and John Jonas, if you could go into the link and pick a time that works for you, we'll try to sync on when to have this Params party. Why is this important? I'll let you know once we are there. But believe me, like you want to like learn what you learned in a Params party. So please, if you could go to this link and help us reach some consensus on the time where we are meeting. This is going to be like a great next step for comms contributors. So yeah, please do that, and let's move on to teams, the actual teams. I think it was the spreadsheet. Yeah. Okay. So finally, like, cat herding this has been really tough. But we have a pretty decent list of communications contributors now. And well, yeah, this is mostly the different teams that we put together and the people that are going to be integrating this. So even if in the near future you don't feel good enough for participating or anything, like, it's okay. I mean, this is a DAO. We openly talk about some of these issues and some of the concerns that you feel that stop you from contributing to the community. So as a reminder, if you feel confused or lost or anything like that, anything weird at any of these points, Juanca is in this call. He's the steward for Gravity. You can always reach out to him or to any graviton that you see in the community. We specialize in mediating conflict. So anything at all, you can always join. You can always start a Gravity process, and this is how we solve our differences in the community. So if you feel that the commitment of being in this list feels a little bit weird, please come forward. You can talk to any of the stewards or to any gravitons, and this will help us solve anything that feels weird in the atmosphere. So we finally have this list of contributors. Some of you are here, and we also have a new manifesto. So this manifesto is gonna first of all, like, it should be clear to you as communications contributors. So in a summary, T.E.A.M, which stands for Token Engineering Amplified Messengers, works as a decentralized app agency that provides communication services to projects that help advance token engineering. Although stewardship is a guidance resource from the TEC, team contributors are encouraged to have initiatives that will eventually become autonomous teams. So yeah, this follows the line that we've been following for the past few weeks. And the goals that we have are to support communications with communication services, the token engineering commons narrative as a token engineering shelling point, which should remain consistent across all the community platforms and accurately represent the TEC cultural build. To establish communications as a public good that can help the TEC community to successfully develop, edit, publish, and distribute high-quality content that promotes the field of token engineering, as well as supporting other projects. To provide an onboarding method for creatives that will guide them through the process of creating value for the token engineering field through different stages. To promote building bridges to other token engineering communities, projects and communities, constantly looking for comms needs where T.E.A.M can provide services. Everyone in T.E.A.M must feel seen, heard, valued, and rewarded, acknowledged, empowered, supported, and comfortable to share ideas. I'll repeat this last one because I feel that even though it's the last one, it's one of the most important. Like, everyone here should always feel seen and heard, valued and rewarded, acknowledged, empowered, supported, and comfortable to share ideas. This takes me back to Gravity. Like, if there's anything, if you're having a bad day for your own reasons and you feel that you can't deliver some of this, it's okay. Like, we're here to support you. Or if you're not getting along with some other contributor, please reach out to Gravity. It's one of my favorite parts of the token engineering commons. These are links to some of... yes, Septi, please do.
It's just regarding that last one. And how do you plan to measure it? Like, everyone feels seen, heard, valued, rewarded. Like, yeah, like, I mean, I think it's a very nice goal, but we should have like some kind source to measure, like, if we accomplish that goal or we don't. Yeah, just...
yes, this is actually a really great question. This one right here was actually I forked this last point from the original communications working group manifesto that Jessica and Marco started. So a shout out to them for as I mentioned some weeks ago, they are still shaping in many ways the things that happen in communications. So how to measure this? This is a really good question. I feel that it's a mechanism that consists of two different things. The first one I feel would be organizational. So if there's an agenda for every team call, if there is the right stewardship, there should be like notes and a way to keep track of everything that people contribute with. So talking about inclusion of ideas, I feel that good stewardship can always be a really good initiative for this. However, I think that that this is only like in a very like technical professional approach, let's say. So regarding like a more human approach, I would always encourage team contributors to please join some of the communitas activities, because I feel that integration is one of the best contributions that this working group actually gives. So integrating with communitas activities would be I feel a good resource for keeping this integration with the community. For those of you that don't know, Communitas provides different spaces in the TEC. The first one is orientation call, which most of you have gone through that one. The TEC lounge, which happens on Fridays. Those are like more social focus calls. We usually don't touch any work topics there. We just talk about, like food and music. And I can remember like Edu comes up with the best topics, and it's always super like a lot of fun. So I feel that this social integration is a huge part of maintaining this balance among the contributors. So yes, I don't know if that answers your question, Septi, but I feel that this is gonna be also like enriched as time moves forward.
Yeah, of course. Like for me, like I think like it's a very nice goal, and if we can somehow implement some kind of metric, like I think that should be applied to all working groups. Like I really think it's a very good goal, but we really should, I don't know, have some kind. I was trying to do it with the audit at the
Yes.
beginning, but it didn't work as we expected. But yeah, I mean, I was just throwing it there just to get some discussion.
No, it's a very valid point. Traditionally, in let's say like a more corporate structure, human resources usually takes care of this. But this is always a focus to profits, right? Like the reason why human resources is there is because there should be like this balance and an atmosphere that allows the company to make bigger profits. And this is like super differently. Like we have to be working in a very human and like let's say like integrated way. Because if not, if we are malfunctioning as a community, then all of the work that we do is gonna reflect that. And the only ones that are gonna like let's say like suffer those some of those change impacts is gonna be the community itself and the economy that we share. So this is a really good question, and it's a really good insight. And also, I've mentioned this to some of you, but this is it is interesting because it's where psychologists and sociologists start playing a very fundamental role in communities like us. So please, if you feel that you can contribute in any way to this well-being of the community, this is all growing and this is all evolving per day. Like there are a lot of DAOs right now, like just trying to find out how we are going to structure ourselves and how we are going to establish dynamics that are going to allow us to, move forward as community. So it's a very interesting point. But I feel that it gets constantly enriched by all of the community members. So I'm not gonna get tired of repeating it. Like, if you see anything that is off, that bothers you or that doesn't feel right, please reach out to Gravity, because in the end, you're gonna be contributing to a greater whole, which is how this is gonna be working with people, right? So any experience helps with this. So going back to the manifesto, these are the working platforms that we are currently doing. And about the roadmap, this roadmap actually isn't really updated, but I'm going to share this other roadmap with you, which is starting to get a little bit outdated, but we're going to work hard for not updating it as much. We are, today is the last day of November. So we're having the Commons upgrade, I think, sometime around January now. So the idea would be to have this proposal ready and start pushing it as soon as we have the Commons upgrade, so that we can start working really hard on in January. After this, we're gonna have initial funding for 6 months. We're gonna have different proposals for projects that may need to expand their resources in some way, or any initiatives that contributors may have around project management. So we're going to be taking care of executing these projects for the first months. And this is something very, very important in the TEC community. Like, eventually we'll need to stop and take a look at what we're doing. In transparency, Septi is here. Septi is the steward for transparency. Also, Ivy is supporting this working group. Transparency provides this this principle to the community, so it's always good. It's not like a traditional audit, right? Like, you hear about like the well, in Mexico is El SAT, and then you have I think the SEC in the States, and you have like these different organisms that are associated with economic oppression that usually run audits. Here is totally different. I was scared at first. I remember the first time Septi told me, like, oh, we're gonna audit communications. I was like, what did I do wrong? It's like, no, it's not about that. It's always like a healthy opportunity for working groups to stop and to take a look at what they are doing and asking, how can we improve transparency for the rest of the community? Because as you get deeper into contributing in the TEC, you'll find that it is always good to have transparency. Like, if you want to support a working group with an initiative they have, it's always good to go to the source of transparency, which is the Transparency Working Group. This way you can have a better impression of everything that is going on. And this way also stewards and contributors can be held accountable for their actions and their decisions that impact the community in any way. So yeah, this is why this last point is going to eventually be very important, because it's what is going to let us improve the rest of the process so that we can go back to, let's say, like square one, and yeah, keep moving forward with the TEC. The contributor stages, I feel that everyone here is going to go through this stage. They're going to be like a new creative at first. So the first thing is integrating to the cultural build in the TEC. Although I feel that most new contributors here are already like in the second step. Like, you are already team contributors because you have integrated with the culture. So this is going to be enabled through the reward system. I'm going to talk briefly about the reward system, but if anyone has any questions about this, please feel free to contact me directly. The reward system, let's say that it's a more like social way of recognizing our contributions. So let's say that Asset Laser comes up with a design, but it's a very like minimal design, right? It's something that gets posted to Twitter every week, and like, it's, I mean, this is a job that gets done every week. So I don't know, maybe Edgar says one day, hey, you know what? Like, Asset Laser comes up with these graphics every single week, and I feel that he deserves more recognition for this. So you can either react with to Asset Laser's post, or you can praise him, or it works in different ways. But you can there are ways in which you can always highlight contributions from other community members. So this in the end is going to get quantified, and it's going to be distributed in the form of TEC tokens. So as a reminder, TEC tokens is going to be our governance token. So the way we reward these contributions is directly with let's say like a share of having a vote and having a voice in every decision that gets made. So if you're contributing to the TEC and you get TEC tokens back, you can use these to vote and to further improve your participation in the community. So team contributors engage and participate in the reward system. The team members, they are able to claim bounties and follow up on them. And finally, the team project managers, it applies for funding projects and leading new creatives. I feel that we already have some project managers within comms. I feel that Acid Laser, for example, has been here for many months, and he has gone through different stages of understanding everything that goes on, and that eventually translates to some kind of leadership that I really find it really interesting, and I like it a lot because of the cultural relevance that it has in other community members. So everyone here is encouraged to eventually become project manager for communications and help us achieve the objectives that the working group has. So just going really quick through the stewardship duties, which is going to be pretty much me, and also Nate is a huge contributor to communications and a steward for the community as well. So some of our duties would be pretty much guiding and supporting comms contributors through their stages, as well as integrating them to our processes. Have a weekly communications working group call, presenting the status of current projects. So this call is eventually going to evolve to something that gathers information from different teams and present results to the rest of the community, going back to transparency principles again. To moderate a weekly sync for active projects, I'm going to be with that as the next agenda topic, and facilitate communications needed in the token engineering community to creative teams. This means initiatives like the one we're having with Token Engineering Academy, for example, where we see that a lot of their communications can be strengthened. So we are going to be providing a great and amazing team, which is Anatek and Angela, and they're going to be supporting the T.E.A. Academy with communications. So presenting the funding proposal finally. I'm going to quickly read through this. So this is going to be for 6 months, for the first 6 months after the Commons upgrade. Team works as a decentralized agency that provides communication services to projects that help advance token engineering. The proposal description is the core function of communications will be to provide services to the TEC, but services can be provided to other token engineering related projects if the community recognizes its commitment to advanced token engineering. The Comms DAO will be a multi-sig where all team contributors will participate, but we're also considering superfluid. Sorry, I just haven't been able to develop a lot on how this would work. But the point here is that we want to raise this as a very important highlight of how we're going to be structured. Like, there's not going to be like a central authority figure. Like, we don't really believe in that. And rather than having that, we're going to have different contributors to have the same vote and weight in how we recognize each other's contributions. For the initial proposal, the first 6 months, we will work with a minimum amount of expected hours per contributor per week. Additional hours spent can be considered. All team contributors will have access to a bounty board where they must seek to integrate new contributors for lighter tasks. So what happens with the small stuff, right? What happens with, I need like a small design for this. And you know that we have new graphic designers in the community. Oh, so let's throw some bounties, right? And see if people are interested to grow in the community. So this is what the bounty board is going to be for mainly. And again, stewardship plays a guidance role and is in charge of coordinating the communications working group weekly sync, but it's not an authority role. This is very, very important. Okay, so about team contributors, there's going to be a creative onboarding process. And we're going to offer this to, after orientation, anyone that feels that they can contribute to communications. So this is courtesy of Durgadas here, that he's a subject matter expert in these kinds of frameworks. And maybe you can talk a little bit about Kinefin, Durgadas. And the idea is to provide perspective on the learning process for creatives in a visual way. Yeah, I'll just let Durgadas explain it for you to get it a little bit better.
Well, the thing is that what's really useful is to understand what is an appropriate action mode for you to be in here. Additionally, it's also really helpful to understand that there is a process by which you can work clockwise in this Kinefin thing and counterclockwise. So just understanding, for example, that most management of things takes place in the complex and complicated side of the world, right? So if you're dealing in project management or dealing with a project manager, it's good to be able to orient yourself on which thing is it that the person. So if for example, Chewy comes to you and says, "Hey, I want you to design this graphic," and then you'd be like, "Okay, so where is this thing coming from?" So it's if it's we need this thing in an emergency and it's all everything's panicky and we forgot this thing and blah blah blah, that's going to be probably the chaotic side of this picture, because you're just going to need to crank something out without really knowing how to fit any of that stuff in. On the other hand, if that's happened a lot, you may want to be like, hey, maybe we should put something in place where we're actually going to be more proactive here and try to see what's going on in terms of, instead of having things falling onto me all the time, maybe I should probe what's going on and figure out where the general stuff is that's happening. In general, you could say that the whole of the token engineering commons is working out of the complex and or the complicated most of the time. On the other hand, narratively, we're trying to basically take the complex and make it complicated, which is to say to take emergent practices and turn them into good practices. Similarly, we're also trying to develop, like, for example, our training with Gravitons, we are trying to create experts in some way for conflict management and trust creation. So people who operate in the complex generally are trying to get from the complex to the complicated, which is basically setting up either an enabling or a governing constraint. It's important to know that when you go between the complex and the complicated, that you have those two options, because if you find that you're choosing governing constraints all the time, you might want to look at that because that can be a thing that if everything is about governing, you might find yourself sort of trapping people in a certain kind of worldview. And so that can create conflict later on. So then once you get into the realm of the complicated, that's kind of the realm of the expert. Their job is to sense and analyze and respond and put things into basically a blueprint or a plan, and then move that up between the complicated and the obvious or the clear into using what's called modeling. So once you can model something, then you can put it into the buckets, and then your job then in the obvious side of the picture is to sense what's going on, categorize it into the known thing that the expert has dealt with, and then to move into your response. And that should be a fairly canned response, frankly. So, for example, in comms generally is pretty much the realm of the complicated and the obvious, because communication and marketing has been going on for a really long time, and there's a lot of things that are known about that. on the other hand, we are communicating complex things and complicated things. So we need to kind of have an understanding of how this relationship works, and then you can kind of know where to act from. So it's a good sense-making principle to know about when you're starting something. So yeah, I think that's good for pretty much anyone, including creatives and certainly people who are, in any kind of project management thing. Is that a good summary, you think?
Yeah, thank you very much, Durgana. So yeah, the idea is, I mean, especially like going back to when I first started contributing in the TEC, the idea is just to have more like comprehension tools about how we start getting all of this information. So this is another tool that actually came up last week during SoftGov's call, and I really loved it because it, like, again, this is something that would have made a huge difference back when I started approaching the TEC, because this allows you to classify information in these two axes. So what type of contributions happen in the ecosystem? So some are fast contributions and some are slow contributions. Some are social and some are technical. So going back to what Durgaras was saying, especially like in the field of token engineering, like this get mixed up all the time. Like, for example, Param's parties themselves, like people tend to feel that these are like very like technical and slow tools, but I would actually like find them a little bit more in this spectrum, right, of social, because I really love how Param's parties, let's say like they sorry, I forgot the word, but like they reinforce economics as a social science. So I feel that having this access to just being able to classify all of the information that I'm going to be getting is something that can help fight like some overwhelming emotions that you might be getting at first. And the last part that I would reinforce for a creative onboarding would be explaining how funding public goods with the augmented bonding curve works, which is based in the Common Stack model, which is who actually like iterated us, the token engineering commons. So going through this model and just having a better sense of how this economic engine works is also going to bring a lot of clarity to how this thing actually works. So team contributors must have awareness of token engineering and what it means for the near future. Have experience in the communications field. Dominate the commons structure. Team contributors are also capable of building bridges with other communities and have initiative to advance token engineering through communications. The expected time commitment, actually, it's 8 hours per week. I think I made a mistake here. And this is something that it's like when it comes to expectations, I feel that this is super clear. There are like 2 hours per week that are going to be really useful just to get a sense of what we're all doing. So this call, the communications working group call, is going to be like pretty much, if it didn't happen here, it didn't happen. Like the community never heard about it. So attending this call, I feel, is going to be one of two commitments that are going to be very relevant. The more people we have, the more we need to coordinate. If we don't coordinate, we're just not going to get anywhere. So this is the importance of attending this call. So thanks everyone that is here. And we're also going to have individual sync calls for teams, which I'm going to talk about more in a little bit. So how does this proposal benefit the community or the field of token engineering? It provides communication services to token engineering focused projects. These services will be in sync with other token engineering related projects and their communications contributors. So I only like I'm gonna need a lot of help from contributors to actually have shape this thing better. This was made based in an estimate of 8 hours per week, which is multiplied by 4 weeks per month, which is multiplied by 6 months, and is multiplied by the number of contributors that that each team is going to have. So, doing a quick recap on who these contributors are, we can take a look at this spreadsheet. These are the contributors that we have so far. So each of them would have these different funding resources for their next for the first 6 months of work. But eventually, if we make some adjustments, especially around the number of, let's say that we bring it up to 8 to 10 hours per week, right? I mean, this table here can be expanded in so many ways, but let's say that half of the contributors in each team spend 10 hours or more per week, and the other half can be a little bit less, like 8 hours, maybe 6 hours, right? But giving teams the option to organize themselves and have their own time management is something that is going to start shaping this. But if you in any way have any more questions about this field, which is pretty logical, right? Like, how much are we getting paid? So if you have any questions about this, how this could work or how it sums up, please reach out to me, because it's one of the most important things, right, to take in account. So if you feel that you can provide any information that is going to help shape this in a much more specific way, please do. Please reach out to me. And also, if you feel that you would like to come up with your own estimate of hours, let's start, shaping all of this information. And the first stop for this is going to be the team sync calls. So this is where we're going to go much more into detail with all of this. And I still have to come up with a Let Us Meet link for this sync call, but I'm going to be reaching out to you to see when is it better for the animation team to meet, when is it better for the Token Engineering Academy team to meet, and like that with each of the contributors. So I feel I covered almost everything. I have some other supporting graphics, like for example this part. I've showed you this before. Right now I feel that everyone is here, right in the middle, because you've been observing for some weeks now. So this would make you ready to start participating in the rewards system as soon as we have the comments upgrade figured out. So I would say that the next steps are to give much better shape to how compensation is going to work. So achieving this with all of the contributors is going to be a tough process. But I feel that it's going to be very important, so that everyone feels comfortable with their contributions and everything going on around TEC. So we have 7 minutes left. I'll use a minute or two for answering brief questions. And after this, we're gonna go to our last agenda topic, which is Gitcoin grants round 12 start tomorrow. If you're not familiar with Gitcoin, you should. It's one of the most amazing things happening in the space. And the Token Engineering Commons has a Gitcoin grant. This means that once per quarter we can receive donations and have matching donations from a matching pool that Gitcoin has. So before we jump into this with Juanca, does anybody have some questions about our funding proposal and how it's going to work? I'll just wait for somebody to unmute.
So I just want to say that
Nate.
I think I just want to say that I think it's really important, especially for new contributors who are interested in participating, that this is not the end-all be-all of rewards, and that we have a reward system that is going to be, compensating contributions within the team DAO, and that not only that, we'll probably have bounties. Is that correct?
Yes, when it comes to strict, let's say, like sources of income, the funding proposal will take care of these, let's say, like fixed roles in the different teams. But you will also be participating in both bounties that are going to be like separate from the contributions that are already being compensated, and also the reward system, which instead of paying in wrapped XDAI, it pays out in TEC tokens. So the reward system actually rewards with our governance token, which I feel is super interesting versus just regular contributions. But you're always welcome to use some of your wrapped XDAI and buy into the augmented bonding curve if you want to have more participation. So yeah, are there any other questions regarding the funding proposal? Okay. It's fine. Like if someone would like to reach out to me separately, it's totally fine. I mean, this is how people get paid. It's not an easy topic, and it always has like different issues. So please feel free to talk openly about this, and so that we can keep like let's say like a healthy approach to this topic, and how we're all going to be working and collaborating in this working group. Okay, I'm going to pass it to Juanca so that we can take a look at the ultimate TEC shopping cart for Gitcoin grants, round 12. So take it away, Juanca.
The thing is that in Gitcoin we can share collections, and as the round 12 is going to start tomorrow, we wanted to create a collection and also a card to be able to share in Twitter. So I want to show this card that I made, so that if you have any suggestion to remove or to add another grant, this is the moment, because this will be shared. And the decoration, I don't know why in your computer it appears with 11 grants, but I made it with 10 grants, and the idea is to have like this attractive number of 50 DAI. So it's like 50 DAI, and you will support advancing the token engineering. So it's like Gravity, Governouts, Give It Trace, that is one of the tools that we all use to receive our payments. The grant for the Token Engineering Commons, the grant for the Common Stack Community Fund Panbala League. This one actually matches more fund if you donate with PAN, but I don't know how to select a different token just for that one in the card.
I would suggest donating everything in PAN if you can, because everybody who gets PAN donations gets a little bit extra PAN from Panvala.
Okay, but then like okay, then people should also like buy PAN.
Yeah, I would. It's also just gas fees, making separate donations and such. Oh, but I guess this is on. You can choose a different chain even these days. But yeah.
Yeah, Polygon is going to be live on round 12.
Nice. So that's cool. But yeah, I would suggest getting PAN and donating with pan, because then everybody you donate to gets a little bit of extra pan matching on top of their Gitcoin matching.
Okay. And like One Hive Gardens, maybe that's another community, but I feel that the Gardens is a super cool tool. And from some grants that I've seen, it doesn't have like a lot of matches. So I think it will be really cool to add them that in our cart. And then the other ones are the Token Engineering Academy and CatCat. So yeah, if you say that it's okay, this selection, um, we will post it in a Twitter, and we will actually save a collection. And the name that we are thinking is DAO and Token Engineering Resources. But if you have another idea, please send it to me or discuss it right now, because we're in the top of the hour. Before that we create the collection,